Alright, it is time for a Astral Chain preview that I wanted to record. As you can see, I'm a decent bit into the game right now. I'm in the 5th chapter, which has taken me around 11 hours, 12 hours almost, to get there. And I'm heading out into a new mission now, so let's see how that goes.
Is the Aegis Research Institute, a testament to Dr. Calvert's lifetime of achievement and birthplace of the Legions.
Yeah, when you start a chapter, it's usually time for an investigation of some kind, which takes you about, I would say, half an hour. Yeah, this area is a bit unusual. Usually you go more into a cyberpunkish... Oh. I can probably wear that, damn it. But I will need to get back to the police station, which I can't right now. So usually you get more into a cyberpunkish urban area, so this is a welcome change of pace. Oh, there's a quest over there. We need to do the quest. Also, we can heal this person. So yeah, as you can see, things are starting out very calmly, and you would think that this is like just a really brief introduction or something, but this is actually a big part of the game. Traversing through the area, solving little platforming puzzles, finding hidden items, solving quests. Let's see. Speaking of which, let's see what we got here. Oh. I can go into this detective vision kind of thing. That allows me to scan people, and I've actually been able to use this to achieve some quests. I guess I don't want to spoil it for you, but as you can see, it shows you some information on the areas, and the more you level up, the more information you will see. So hate and weight, for example, were locked at the start of the game. And because I've made progress, I can see these now, and they have been helpful in doing some quests. So something that I really like about this game is the inventory system, and I can configure which items I want to put here, so I can put them on quick use, sort of Monster Hunter style. And I'm a hoarder. I don't use consumables ever. The ingenious thing that this game does is it introduces temporary items. So these are items, as I pick them up, they will only be valid while I'm in this chapter. So after I leave the chapter, I lose all of them. So there's really no reason to conserve them at all. And I think that's a genius little detail, frankly, because it makes me use consumables all the time. Of course, you get a better rating if you don't use consumables, so there's that layer as well. I don't know how am I supposed to with... Oh, I see. So we got to get the right Legion here. Here he is.
Information display.
So let's move him over there. Oh wait. And he can open the door for us. And it's quite possible that we can wear him as armor here to get through this area safely. Yep. That's exactly how it is. And then we destroy this shit. And I think that solves the problem. Okay, let's try to capture him. Got him. Phew. These chapters are really long. One chapter I would estimate, I don't know, is 2 hours, sometimes longer, maybe 2 to 3 hours, something like that. And I would estimate that you spend about, in that time, you spend about half an hour fighting. So we have a map, of course, and overall this is the menu, and it has so much stuff to talk about. I already mentioned how items work in this game, so I like this a lot. we have the Legion menu, which is where you with manage character progression for your legions. As you can see, I found 3 legions so far. There's 5 in the game. They all have various different abilities that allow you to solve puzzles, and because of that you can also go back into previous levels and solve and gain access to areas that you weren't able to access earlier. Every single legion has this kind of character progression grid, where you can unlock new skills and better stats, and also advantages like more ability slots and stuff like that. I haven't even looked at this one yet. Yeah, okay, not impressive, but yeah, I need to start figuring this out, because here I can assign skills, which is also a really cool layer actually. So you get to assign skills to your legions, and that means you can really customize how you want them to be played. And what really takes the cake is the ability sections here, which is, these are ability items that I've been collecting throughout the game from treasure chests and quest rewards and all sorts of things, and achievements, which I'll get to in a moment. But these essentially let you really customize your legions quite a bit. And for example, currently my legion here has the auto heal ability, which it means that if I have him active, he heals me, and he also collects more XP. But you know, this way you can construct different legions that serve very different purposes. Like, you can make one that's just stronger overall. You can one that is more defensive when you switch to it when your health gets low and stuff like that. There's like tons and tons of possibilities here. But another thing that's pretty big is, it's called orders, but what it really is the achievement system of the game. And this is where I can show you that probably. So here you can see that for each chapter you have an achievement, and from that we can guesstimate that there's about 11 of these chapters.
Shut down.
Or do we return to the police station? That would be interesting, but I don't believe it for a second. Oh, oops. Take off.
Looks like you're at Harmony Square. Alicia's waiting at the station. Get moving.
Okay, that should be easy. Through here? Ah. Okay. What? Okay, so I guess this is more involved than I anticipated. Let's try this more thoroughly. So this line goes up there. What am I looking at here? Aha, some kind of weird box. And then it goes to the weird person here. But then it goes further. Aha. Uh-huh. And then it goes over there. Oh yeah, it has that icon actually. I think you do that like this, right? And he is arrested. It looks dumb.
Alright, we're gonna split up from here. We've got intel that a few people are trapped in this area, so I want you to take care of them first. You'll probably need the other lines haven't been see any command. There we go. Alright, I'm off.
So yeah, as you can see, more police work, which is always how a chapter starts. I will be showing you more of the action stuff later, but I just want you to understand that this is much more involved and takes much more time than people are probably expecting, which is kind of cool. So towards the end of your investigation, you have to clue together, usually in a sequence, the events, which is, you know, I don't want to put too much importance on that because it's just a small detail, but I think it's kind of fun, because for every quest you solved, for every person you talked to, you probably gathered one piece of information here, and you can get a reward if you fill in everything correctly. It's more or less optional. I failed I think all of them miserably so far, but yeah, it's another little thing that makes this whole thing feel a bit more like an investigation, even though I haven't really encountered any big mysteries or something like that, is what I would have expected. So this is more of a thing that sets the mood than anything. It's not really a big plot device or anything, which is a bit of a wasted opportunity maybe, but yeah, it's still a fun little sequence, I think. Ooh! This is like some hidden metal slime thing that happens, that shows up once per stage. I haven't really been able to beat any yet, so I hope I get this one. Whoop! Yes! Jackpot, I got it! Oh, let's see. Oh, damn it, I can't really see the rewards because in my HUD I configured it so you cannot really see what kind of items you pick up, which is kind of stupid, I guess. So I recommend leaving the items on if you want to know what you collect. But yeah, cool, I defeated one of these. I'm definitely sure that we'll get an achievement for it, so there's that. Oh, what is this now? Cat? I didn't know you could collect cats. Huh. Wait, that definitely you get an achievement for that, right? I think I saw that earlier and I was wondering how you get that. Yeah. Ah, there it is. One for the slime. And it gives me another color set that I can use to customize my legion. And then one for the kitty, I guess. There it is. Not as interesting, but either way, you can see as you unlock achievements, you get more customization options to give things more color and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So getting into the topic of fighting finally, the first thing that I wanted to show you was how you obtain additional legions, because you start out the game with a single one, and for story reasons, all the others that you see very early on are gone, and that means that you have to re-obtain them over the course of the game. So far, I've unlocked 2 more legions, 2 more are missing. But this here is where I can obtain the Arm Legion in the course of the story, so that's kind of locked into the story. You can use these legions to go back into earlier areas and unlock things that you weren't able to unlock before, and the game is designed in that way. So this really encourages backtracking and replaying of missions, maybe in a higher difficulty or something like that. But yeah, this is kind of a horrible area to fight in because there's sticky mucus all around. But yeah. Okay, this is taking for fucking ever. So what I can do is here I can scan the enemy, and then I will have a life bar actually, which is pretty handy. It seems like he's almost down, so it's very nice. There's so many cool things you can do, but as you can see, I'm really restrained in this specific area. So close. And we got it. And then you can bind him, and he's part of your collection, giving you access to new skills and new abilities. And yeah, That's how you obtain more of them.
Akira here. I found Jenna. She's on the top floor, somewhere called Astral Plaza.
Just in general, the battle system flows extremely well. I would say that this is pretty much a best of everything that Platinum has ever done. I think there's almost something from almost every single game. Like the Sword Legion has this ability where he can set the angle of which to cut in, just like Metal Gear Rising. I think the menu is sleek and minimal and super fun to use, just like Nier. There's switch time in there, of course, like in almost every game they make. But there's tons of other little details, I would say, that just remind me of things that they took from games that they've done in the past that have just worked really well. And on top of that, they've layered this really polished and well executed idea of having this chain gameplay with two characters that you can control. And while it may sound complex, I felt that it's designed extremely well. Here you can see how I chained something finally, which is one of my favorite skills. Aside from, you can also use the chain to make your enemy stumble. I think, almost at least. So there's tons of fun little things. You can use the chain to fling yourself at the enemy, and oh yeah, and also you can finish enemies off in this way, which actually heals you up. So that's usually recommended after a fight. But yeah, I mean the system is just really well executed, and I could just talk about that for an hour if I wanted to. Instead, let's have a look at one of the boss fights that I really liked, because you can see this guy here standing on like something like feet. It takes a bit of work to get him chained up actually, so you have to chain up both of his legs or whatever you could call that. And only then he gets really held, and then it's time to dish out some major damage, which is why I'm using the longsword here, while my arms Legion is doing more work on the side. But yeah, it's a pretty fun boss fight, and as far as difficulty is concerned, I'm playing currently on Platinum Standard, which I recommend a lot. It concerns how many extra lives you have, basically. So you have less extra lives if you have a higher difficulty, and extra lives you really don't need so much because there's so many consumables anyway. So like the easier modes are really not recommended for anyone who can play a video game. And then if after you finish the chapter, what you get is access to another difficulty, which is Platinum Expert or something, I think. And in that the gameplay changes dramatically, because all the damage that the Legion takes usually just makes him despawn and you have to recharge him then. But in the higher difficulty, his damage is actually subtracted from your HP, so actually the game plays very differently in that regard, and it's a very fun challenge, I think. As you can see, I'm not really struggling too much with this, so Platinum is definitely like more on the easy side of things, I think. And finally, to conclude, I wanted to talk a bit about all the stuff you can do in the police station. There's this mini game of taking pictures of characters. A really important point is going to the toilet, of course. You need to bring the toilet paper that you procured in the mission to the toilet ferry, which is something you should do every mission and should be pretty high on your list of priorities, I think. You can also customize your legions. You can take care of them. You can see here like how you clean them up, which is kind of tedious, but whatever. But more importantly, what I really like is how you can not only change all the colors of your own character, but also of each legion. You can design color patterns for them however you like. This is stuff you unlock. And of course you can do just really stupid side quests like this one here where you are wearing this costume. So. Yeah, that concludes my video. I think There's much more to talk about, but of course our time is always very limited. I think the game is absolutely great, and I try to shift the focus away from the battle, because I think people's expectation might not be set correctly from all the trailers. There's a lot of stuff to do, and I think it's very fun.